Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Now today's video should be a fairly quick one and I'll show you exactly what we are going to be doing. So we are going to be replacing this today. This is an SZL module from a BMW 1 Series. Now why am I installing it today? Why am I replacing the original one? Well, a couple of months ago, probably the best part of a year ago now, I'd done the cruise control retrofit to the BMW 1 Series and everything worked fine with it. You know, there was no issues with the cruise control. It's pretty much plug and play. But at the time, I actually installed an SZL from a BMW E90. Now, a BMW E90 is obviously a saloon or a sedan, and that doesn't have a rear wiper, a rear windscreen wiper. My car being an E87, so the hatchback version, it does obviously have a rear wiper. And at the time I did try to swap over the original wiper stalk from you know, my original wiper stalk from my original SZL. I can't really remember what the issue was. I don't know if the wiring was different or it just wouldn't work, or for whatever reason. So I just used the wiper stalk from the E90 that came with the replacement. So I guess like for the past sort of year or so, I really have been without a rear wiper. So today we're going to be correcting that. Now after I install this, I'm not sure if I'm going to have to calibrate the steering angle sensor or if I'm just going to be able to get away with doing a reinitialization. So we will find out. And I don't think I'm going to do like a step-by-step how to replace this, because I pretty much have done that in the cruise control retrofit video. But obviously I will kind of keep you updated along the way. Now without further ado, let's get outside and let's get cracking. So real quick then, let me just show you the difference between the one that we are going to be installing today and the one that is currently on the car. As you can see on the wiper stalk, there is only a front wiper option, and if you have a look at the automatic wiper button, that is actually slightly different to the one on here. This one actually has a light on it that indicates whether it's on or not, and I actually prefer this option. But the main reason we're going to be swapping this is because of course we have a rear wiper option. Now first thing is first, we need to get the steering wheel off, so we are going to pop the airbag itself off. We just need to pop a screwdriver into the two holes on either, you know, one hole on either side, and then we should be able to pop the airbag off and then release the main bolt that holds the steering wheel in place. This is where the airbag explodes in my face. Now in theory you should disconnect the battery when disconnecting an airbag, but I like to live life on the edge sometimes. There we are. No, not quite. Right, we can disconnect the connectors. There's one. There's two. That's the airbag removed, and we can disconnect the connectors from the SZL. There we are. Then is it a 16mm, 15 or 16mm bolt for the middle? 15, no, 16, yes. That's the bolt removed. Steering wheel should now come off. There we go. So now we can get to work in starting to remove these trim panels. Now you do have to be pretty careful because they have, you know, various clips on them. You don't want to end up breaking them. So yeah, just take your time. Like I said, I'm not going to be showing you the entire process because I've already done a full video doing that. But yeah, I'll check back in when I have all this removed. So it turns out you actually only need to remove the lower section, the lower trim piece. But after you have removed that and popped the upper section out of the way, you then just have 4 T25 screws holding the SZL in place. I'm going to remove them and then I will disconnect the electrical connectors. We can deal with the electrical connectors on the back here. So that's an easy one. And this one is this as well. Here we are. There we go then. There's this disconnected. No messing around then. Let's get our new one and install this in place. I'm just going to plug these connectors in first there. Make sure everything's nice and clean. I'm just going to pop this into place. Being careful not to break any of the tabs. There we are. We can reinstall our screws. I'm sure these screws do have a torque figure, but they are not that critical, so I'm just going to give them a bit of a snug up with the ratchet. It's only going into plastic, so you don't want to go crazy. Reinstall this lower portion, this cowling or whatever you want to call it. And there we go then. That is the trim pieces now back together. Very easy to do. It literally just clips together. You just need to make sure everything is lined up and then it should go together fairly easily. Now we can get the steering wheel back on then, and there should be a line. It can't just go on any old way. There is a line on the steering wheel and then a line on the steering column itself. As you can see, they line up perfectly. They'll line at the bottom there. And we can get the bolt reinstalled now. And now I'm going to torque this bolt down and it'll give me a chance to use my new torque wrench. This one goes up to 210 Newton meters. My old one only went up to 140, so I thought, you know, it's just as well that I do get one, because on the rare occasion you do get something you have to torque up to like 160 Newton meters or something. This bolt though only gets torqued up to 60 Newton meters, which is still pretty tight actually. There we are. Don't want the steering wheel coming away in your hands while driving at high speed. We can plug these back in then for our multi-function buttons, and the airbag of course. And the airbag can go back on as well. This is where it just explodes in our face after all the work that we've done. And that, there we are, that's the airbag back on. So steering wheel firmly in place. And now we just need to see if we have any errors on the dash, if we need to recalibrate the steering angle sensor and all the rest of it. So yeah, let's find out. So ignition on. Yeah, it looks like we have a steering angle sensor fault. It's also showing the flat tire monitor as well. Whether or not that is related to it, I haven't got a clue. But we're going to try the first method. We're just going to turn the steering wheel from lock to lock, just do a complete full cycle, and then see if that fixes our issue. Let's fire the car up then. I'm just going to do a full lock to the left, then full lock to the right. see if we still have the light on. Which we still do, so I think we are going to have to recalibrate the steering angle sensor. And to recalibrate the steering angle sensor, we are going to be using ISTA D. Now ISTA D is pretty easy to use with anything. When it comes to ISTA, you need to read out vehicle data, but once you have done that, if you go into vehicle management and then service functions and then chassis and suspension, steering angle sensor adjustment, and then you want to select the ABL and double click it. The steering angle must be calibrated after following jobs: replacement of steering column switch cluster, which we have done, and then replacement of DSC units essentially, and yeah, working on steering and or front angle, which is good to know. But we will just select continue. Do you wish to cancel the test module? No, we don't. Continue. Steering angle sensor matching. Exactly set front wheels to straight ahead position. The steering wheel must be positioned horizontally. So we want the steering wheel to be as straight as possible, and I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. So we can select continue. The steering wheel must be positioned horizontally. Yes, it is. Continue again. Adjustment in process. We have something happening. Adjustment of the steering angle was successful. Visually align the steering wheel in horizontal position to check the zero position of the steering angle. So obviously, as we move the steering wheel, we are going to be adjusting the steering angle. So let's try and get to 0 and see how it's looking. Yeah, looks pretty straight to me, to be honest. So we're going to select continue. With the steering wheel in horizontal position, does the displayed steering angle equal 0 degrees? Tolerance plus 2 degrees. Yes. Continue. And no, we don't need to initialize the run flat indicator. So we just select continue and continue again. And that should be us pretty much done. So we'll just take the key out, put the key back in, ignition on. And there we go, we don't have the warning come up. We'll just start the engine up. Job done, sorted. Okay then, so there we go, that's another job done on the BMW 1 Series, and it wasn't really something that was broken, but more a self-inflicted problem. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you are thinking of doing a cruise control retrofit on your BMW 1 or 3 Series, then make sure you buy the correct SZL with all of the options that your car has. So if you have a rear wiper, for example, like I do, then make sure you buy a replacement SZL with a rear wiper option, because you can't just swap the stalk over, it won't fit. But yeah, lesson learned, I guess. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I'll see you all in that next one. Peace.